Today, I am with the president of the Ghana Physicians and Surgeons Foundation of North America. His name is Dr. Gabriel Asumeng, and he is in Ghana with a purpose. So today, we're going to have a conversation with him to find out exactly what this foundation does and how they are making an impact in Ghana. So you are the president of such an amazing organization doing things in Ghana. I'm so happy to meet you. And I have to say that I'm really proud of what you and your organization are doing.
Thank you. And I'm happy to be here.
Thank you. Thank you. And so, my audience, I'm sure some of them have never heard of the Ghana Physicians and Surgeons Foundation of North America. So if you could just do a brief introduction of exactly what the organization does.
Okay. So my name is Gabriel Asumeng. I have been with GPSF since 2014, the Ghana Physicians and Surgeons Foundation, North America, in short, GPSF. I heard about the organization when I was in medical school. At that time, I was asking myself the question, why can't physicians from Africa come together and do work back home? Mm-hmm. This is around the time, if you'd remember, we were dealing with the Ebola virus
2014
crisis in West Africa. And so it was around that time when I was searching and I found about GPSF, and I said, this is an organization that I wanted to be a part of. GPSF was started in 2003. Around the same time, an institution was being started in Ghana called the Ghana College of Physicians and Surgeons. Mm-hmm. The Ghana College of Physicians and Surgeons was started to train physicians, surgeons, dentists after they finish their, should I say, in-classroom training, right? So you go to medical school, you go to dental school. When you are done, you need to do some more training to become a specialist or a consultant. By that time, most people were traveling overseas to the US, Europe, Asia to obtain those postgraduate training. And so GPSF was started to work with the Ghana College of Physicians and Surgeons to give postgraduate training in Ghana.
Okay.
Over time, we've been engaged with all levels of the healthcare leadership in Ghana, and we do mission work, we do hands-on bedside care in Ghana, training of physicians and surgeons in collaboration with the Ghana College. We call it the Ghana College of Physicians and Surgeons, and then dentists here in Ghana. At the same time, we provide mentorship, we provide support with research, and one of the things we've added to the things that we do is helping medical students, residents get rotations in the US or vice versa. So those who are in medical school residency in the US who want to come for global health experiences in Ghana, we also facilitate that for them.
Wow, that's really good. So you are based in which state? Texas. So you're here in Ghana right now.
Yes.
And so did you grow up in Ghana?
Yes, I was born in Ghana, grew up in Ghana, did high school in Ghana. We used to say that we were the only high school back then, Kumasi High School, Mrantie. And then did my bachelor's degree at Valley View University. Right after bachelor's degree, I got the opportunity to go to the US for my master's degree. And then after that, I transitioned to medicine.
Okay. And so in your years working in medicine in the US, what made you think about doing something to come back to Ghana to do anything here?
What I left out was that I did my bachelor's degree in theology at Valley View University. When I graduated from Valley View University, I was sent to the Domina CSDA hospital to be the chaplain there. And within the first few months, I had the itch to go into medicine. I got the opportunity to go continue my pastoral training in the US. And along the line, the call came to go back, to go into healthcare medicine. To cut a long story short, the desire to come back to Ghana has always been there. And so even in my medical school application essays, I was emphasizing that the desire was to train and come back home and support, right? In the Twi language, we say, kwaye a ajewono, yemfreno kwayewa. The land or the forest that has supported you and helped you to grow up to where you are. You don't belittle it down the road when you've become whatever you think you have become, right? This is the land of my birth. This is the land that fed me, gave me food. My people are still here. And so if I have traveled and been able to acquire some skills, some knowledge, I think it's just human that I had that desire to transfer a little bit back home.
That's great. That's really great. And so the organization comes to Ghana. You mentioned mission work.
Yes.
What is some of the mission work that the organization does?
Where do I start and where do I end? So this T-shirt that I'm wearing was produced by one of our previous presidents, Dr. Kwabena Boakye. He has a clinic in New York, and he comes with a team to Ghana maybe sometimes twice a year to do mission work in Ghana. He travels all over the country depending on what the team decides. And I've had the opportunity to be with them at the Akropong Mampong Hospital where they were making a donation there. So that's Dr. Kwabena Boakye and the CD medical team. Dr. Akins, who is one of the previous presidents, current chair of our education committee, comes with the international healthcare volunteers to Ghana and do gynecological surgeries in the pelvic area. A lot of Ghanaian women present with cancers very late. Many people see symptoms and they don't report it to their doctors, and by the time they are reporting, the cancer is spread. Dr. Akins is a specialist, and he pulls together a team of specialists, not only surgeons, but various different kinds of physicians, nurses, and other parts of the healthcare system who come and provide surgical care for some of these patients, whilst at the same time transferring the skills to our trainees here. Dr. Juliet Kwanzaa has a cancer support network, which is all part of GPSF. They do a lot of screening work. They provide care for patients that they pick up and notice that they have cancers, and try to provide financial support so they can get treatment. And they do a lot of education also. I know Dr. Ifua Lane is an OBGYN who has a practice here in Ghana and provides care so that people who are in areas that cannot have access to quality healthcare or the skill set that she has can also have access. Dr. Tai Adusu, through whom we were connected, works with Dr. Badu and their team. They come to the Volta region and some parts of the central western region. I know there are teams that go to the northern region, almost every part of Ghana, almost every part of the year, but most especially the Christmas season, early January, summertime, you'll find members of GPSF doing mission work.
Okay. A special thank you to Sai Wine Cafe. This is one of the best places to come and experience wine in the heart of Accra. Nestled in Osu, this is a place you can come and have some wine tasting and pairings, paint and sip, or just come and chill and relax and enjoy some good food and good wine. Sai Wine Cafe, thank you so much. So you said something earlier that actually came into my mind because there's a woman that I knew, who, you know, in Ghana, people who don't live in Ghana often people are walking around selling fruits and vegetables, you know, shouting what they're selling. And there was a lady who used to pass my gate every day shouting, pear, pawpaw, mango, pear, pawpaw. And I was so happy because every morning I could just wake up and get my fresh, you know, avocados and fruits and things. And then all of a sudden, she wasn't coming anymore. I was like, where's this woman? Why isn't she coming anymore? And then my neighbor told me, oh, she died. And I was like, what? What happened? I thought maybe an accident. They said, no, she went to the doctor. She said she was bleeding heavy, went to the doctor, found out she had stage 4 cervical cancer. And then she died within like weeks. I'm like, what? So when you said presents late, it made me think of that situation. And I wanted to know if you have the answer. Why is it the case that there's many that present late in Ghana for cervical cancer detection?
This is not just cervical cancer.
Okay.
This is breast cancer. Okay. I was with the Cancer Support Network in Jomoro last year in October. And there was one particular patient I still remember very vividly walking around. The dress is soaked, right? The dress is soaked on the left side. And when we're doing the physical exam, there's a towel up here, and there is a wound that is bigger than a golf ball, or maybe 2 golf ball sizes. And she's been walking around with that for over 2-3 months. Okay. One, there is a culture of fear, right? People don't want to accept the fact that this is what is going on. And so that denial lets people present late. 2, there's a huge gap in terms of knowledge about disease processes. We are a very spiritual population, but beyond being spiritual, we are overly religious. Mm-hmm. When I'm sick as a physician, I know I have to take this medication or that medication, and I know that my chances of getting better quicker is increased if I get the treatment earlier. Mm-hmm. There are times where I know that I don't have to get any treatment, but if I know I have to take treatment, for instance, I have a headache. I know if I take medication early, it will stop my headache. If I don't take the medication early and I wait and I wait and I wait, it can get really bad to the point where I'll be sick for 3-4 days and I cannot work, mm-hmm. right? That is because I have attained a level of knowledge, right? We go to the pastor first, we go to the priest first, we go to the reverend first, instead of going to the doctor and calling our pastor to pray for us, right? I'm a pastor, we bring the spiritual dimension, the physical dimension together to heal, right? One of my favorite verses of scripture, Proverbs chapter 16 verse 4 says, the Lord has made everything for a purpose, right? There's a reason why there are people who deal with spiritual issues, and there are people who God has given wisdom to learn about disease processes, right? And so if you are not coming to me early, then I cannot diagnose. And if you come to me and you are shy and you don't want to disclose certain symptoms to me, then I cannot have the right diagnosis, right? And if I'm not suspecting it, I won't test for it. Mm-hmm. And so all these factors come together, and what we realize is that a lot of our population are presenting late. Mm-hmm. But there is even another catch. This year, we are having a conference in Atlanta on the May 17 and 19, and our theme is that modern cancer care, right? Leveraging innovation, equity, and I've forgotten the last word, for Africa, right? In terms of cancer care, we want to make sure that people are getting preventative care, mm-hmm. right? Because if you are getting your HPV vaccine, right, your risk of getting cervical cancer goes down significantly. It's not zero, but it's better. Would I rather find out that I have cervical cancer or pay maybe 200 cedis or 250 cedis to get the HPV vaccine to reduce my risk? Is there enough education? So these are some of the challenges that as a society, not only in Ghana, but in Africa in general, we face when it comes to dealing with our health overall, mm-hmm. but especially when it comes to our cancers. Mm-hmm. Mm.
That's deep, really deep. And so your organization has been doing things to combat that?
Yes.
Okay. And you're in Ghana right now. Mm-hmm. Which communities have you been in since you've been in the country?
I have been in Accra mainly. I have been to Kumasi, but my work on this trip has been mostly administrative. Okay. The Ghana Physicians and Surgeons Foundation of North America, GPSF, about 2 years ago signed a memorandum of understanding with the Ghana Medical and Dental Council. Okay, and this is beautiful. So 2 years ago, this same time, if I wanted to get a medical license, permanent medical license, I had to do write an exam, and I had to do a 6-month supervised practice in Ghana before I can get on the permanent register. We've been working with the Medical and Dental Council and the Ghana College of Physicians and Surgeons for a long time. And so the MOU that we signed says, if anybody wants to contribute to training of physicians in Ghana, physicians, surgeons, dentists in Ghana, and you are a member of GPSF, you can get your permanent license if you join the faculty of the Ghana College of Physicians and Surgeons. Now that waives the exams for you, and that waives the supervised medical practice for you. And as a member of GPSF, there is a discount on the licensing fee that you pay. So overall, there's a cash saving of over $1,000. There's a time savings of about 6 months, and there's time savings in terms of how much time you would spend preparing for the exam and also writing the exam. The MOU is due for renewal, so I came to Ghana to have conversations around that. And then there are other issues that I am working with my team to address. Somebody trained in the Caribbean, for instance, they are an international student. Let's say my family could afford to pay my tuition, and so I went to school in the Philippines or in London even, and I get the opportunity to practice in the US. They want the Ministry of Health to issue a letter that will allow them to get me the necessary immigration documents to practice. And so we are looking at how to make that process easier for our physicians who trained outside Ghana that need support from the Ministry of Health in terms of a single page document to be able to practice in the US or continue their training in the US and practice in the US if they so choose to, or come back to Ghana to support training and practice in Ghana.
Okay. Now, with all of the things that your organization is doing, how are you supporting it? Because this takes money. That deep sigh says a lot.
It is a lot. So we are making a lot of impact, sometimes not very tangible on a national scale, but this is how I think about it. If there are 1,000 fish that is washed on the shore, I may not have the resources to put all of them back in the ocean. And you may think that my effort doesn't make a difference because I can only pick one at a time. But every single fish that I save, it makes a huge difference for that fish, right? We are making a lot of difference. This year, over the past 1 year, we have over 100 Ghanaian physicians and surgeons and dentists who have signed up to be members of the faculty within the past year. And then within the past year, we have over 50 Ghanaian physicians and surgeons who are now on the permanent register. We are talking about specialties that probably we have only 2 or 3, even if we do have them in Ghana, all wanting to come and support. Unfortunately, one area where we still struggle is finances. Every year, our major source of funding is membership dues. And at the end of every conference, once the conference is officially closed, we say, okay, we are all here now. Let's have a little dinner dance and raise funds. And so mostly members who are there physically contribute to support the organization. Anybody that wants to support us, you can go to GhanaPhysicians.org. There's a donate button where you can donate to support. This year, I have been to Ghana. This is my 3rd trip to Ghana, and that's only because on my first trip, I stayed for 3 months and did all the meetings that were clustered around that time. I've been to UK, and only one of my trips has been paid by the organization.
So you're going out of pocket?
Going out of pocket.
Wow.
But the work we are doing is that important. My younger sister passed away July 20th, 2022, from a cancer that could have been treated with surgery.
Oh my God.
And because of the being over religious, cultural misunderstandings, and fragmentation of care, at the prime age of 39, we lost her. If my sacrifice can bring hope to another individual that I may never get to meet, it's worth it. It's worth the sacrifice. It's worth the endless nights and long phone calls and coming to do this interview. It's worth it. However, if the work of the incoming president, who will be taking over from me in May, can be made much, much easier with adequate funding, this organization will make a huge impact, much more impact. Let me give you an example. On our paid membership platform, we have 288 physicians, attending physicians, practicing physicians. We have over 20 specialty platforms for the various physician faculty groups, where there are various members there. We have a platform for residents and fellows that has over 260 members, okay? And there's a platform for medical students with over 200 members. So let me just do a simple math, not make things too complicated. We have 600 interested, aligned physicians, surgeons, dentists on our platforms. Now, just imagine, right? Just take a minute to imagine if all of them at some point in their training and in their life do come to Ghana to provide care or connect with a resident and support them with mentorship or support with research, how much impact can we make? When I take a week to travel, I'm losing about $10,000 of income. Some other physicians in the surgical specialties, when they take a week to travel, they are losing or sacrificing a lot more money. And yet they are the same people we go to every day to beg for support. Everybody around the world can support GPSF. Go to our website. The contact number that you find there is also a Zelle account. The email that you find on our contact page is also linked to our Zelle, GhanaPhysiciansUSA.com, at gmail.com. The phone number, if I'm recalling correctly from my mind, is 601-955-0903. It's on Zelle. We can now use all the support that we can get. If we were well-funded, I can bring a lot more physicians, a lot more residents, a lot more medical students to train here or to train people who are in training here. I can get medical students to come get an experience, see what we are doing there, see what technologies are available. And when they rise through the ranks, because of the experiences they've had whilst they were in training, they can help bridge the gap.
Fantastic. Before we close out, I want to know, to join the organization, does a person have to be a Ghanaian physician, or is it open to any physicians?
It's open to any physician, any surgeon, any dentist, any nurse, any pharmacist, any allied health professional, anybody who wants to join, okay? We are talking about AI now, right? If you are in technology, join GPSF. There's work we can do together to support healthcare in Ghana. We are talking about money. If you are into finance, join GPSF. There are things you can bring to the table to support the work that we are doing to support healthcare in Ghana. Even if you are in civil engineering, mechanical engineering, what else? Culinary arts, right? Because nutrition is an integral part. There is nothing anybody is doing that doesn't help boost the health of our nation. When I was in junior high school, or maybe before junior high school, I read a short story in one of the government-provided textbooks, and it said, everybody's work is important. Everybody has something to bring to the table when it comes to the health of our nation, and we are happy to take you into GPSF and work with you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Doctor, for sharing all of that information. Everything will be on the screen so that people can, touch base, make a donation if they're able to, find a way to support the organization, because what you're doing is very, very important and very impactful. So thank you.
Thank you. And I would like to add that everybody can donate.
Everybody.
Even if it's $20, even if it's $1, even if it's 20 cedis, we will not say no. And we will be very, very careful to reach out and say thank you.
Great.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you for making the time. I appreciate it.
It's an honor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching this episode. All of the information for you to make a donation to support the organization is on the screen, and it will also be in the description. So I hope that you're able to support, because this is an amazing cause. I love to see the things that people from the diaspora are doing to help support the communities here in Ghana and beyond. Thanks for watching.